Hiya, hiya, it's Joey Reynolds on my perch, and I have, let's see what I have here. I have animal quackers for the ducks. Got to feed the ducks, you know. Are they out there? Where's that duck? Hey, hey you. We know we got a regular bird. Let's throw a little something to the ducks. I don't know if they like that. It probably should be in a bowl with some water so that it is properly served to the duck. I tell the story about how I had an egg in the morning, and I had chicken salad for lunch, and I had a breast of chicken for dinner, and later on we had chicken wings, and I found out they all knew each other. Thank you, Frank Purdue. Wasn't Purdue a college? Yeah, that's not the same thing. When you drive down Delmarva, which is Delaware, Maryland, and Virginia, that's the combination of the three places that are smelly because of the chicken farms. You know, there's a little bit going on there. Plus, they prepare the chicken so there is a scent when they're taking the feathers off. We don't want to be too graphic, but you know, we are living off of the animals, and sometimes we have to just surrender our desires and be friends with them, but not a tiger. Some guy did that at the Naples, Florida zoo yesterday. A guy went over and thought that he was at a petting zoo, and he's in the hospital doing very poorly. Hey, listen, let me tell you something. I just watched the CBS morning show this morning. I always watch all those channels, the ABC, the NBC, the CBS, you know, and there's not much going on. I think I mentioned yesterday they're all doing recipes and remembering all the good times. I don't know how they did that this year. That would have been a blank screen for me. But anyway, I'm watching the CBS morning show, and they showed all the people that put the show on. And I'm telling you, I mean, I've been in this all my life, and I couldn't believe it. There's like 300 people are in to put that show on in the morning. And it looks like, you know, like my show here, it's one person. I know, and it looks it. but this is it. Me and my little my iPhone, my mind, my ad-libbing. There's no script. There's no writers. There's no preparation. I should have preparation H. But they had no sense of how to do this without a big cast. I guess. I mean, it takes a lot to put on a Broadway show and a movie. I mean, obviously. But this thing here that we've done on our own, on the social networking and on the iPhone, iPad, this, that, it's the I generation. That's why we are called selfies. So we have a different kind of a world right now where you can get everything done within yourself and put it out there without the help of 300 people. So that's what I've been doing this every morning for years, you know. And even the ducks are sticking. I'm attracting more ducks here. See? Can you see that? I don't know. Yeah, I'll tell you. No foul language here. I had to get a bad joke in there. Do you notice that everybody's using the puns now? When I was a kid, that was rare that somebody would make a sarcastic comment. First of all, I had the nuns in school. A little sarcasm went a long way. I called one nun Sister Mary Butch, and that was the end of it. You know, I mean, I wore her habit for a long time. Her habit of striking me. But you know, we have different kinds of rules than when I was a kid, and we have now. Everybody's a smartass. Everybody does jokes and one-liners, and everybody does puns. And I was accused in 1985 when I was on NBC in New York. They said I was going to go to pun hell because everything about me was always about that. I had a friend I put this even in my book. I had a friend who owned a shopping center on Santa Monica Boulevard in L.A. and a little strip mall. And on one side, in one shop, was the cleaners, dry cleaners, and next door was the pizza place. So he went away and he asked me if I would just put a one-liner on the marquee. He said, you know, you're pretty good with words. Why don't you put that up there? And I did. I said, with the cleaners and the pizza place, said, drop your pants here and have a piece next door. Well, don't you know the sheriff's department, which runs L.A. County, they flipped out. Boy, did they have a fit with me. And then what was the other thing? Oh, yeah. I was very close with Diane Cannon. Unfortunately, my ex-wife read about it in the Cary Grant book by Mark Elliott, which is not a good place to discover that you're friendly with someone of the same caliber but a different sex, doing things that are probably not supposed to be advertised. But you know what? I should call Morgan and Morgan and get myself a lawyer, like all these people do. These people find lawyers, and the lawyers, I love the idea that you don't pay them until they collect the money. Just tell us your story, and then don't give us anything, and whatever we collect, we'll split with you. Oh, good, thank you. Well, that's about the most crooked agent I ever met in my life. Yeah, let me take half of your money, because somebody sinned, and I'll catch them. But it's a lawyer game that we're playing with that, and the puns are flying with me. Back to that. I was with Dyan Cannon, and I made up a menu for a friend in Malibu at the restaurant on Pacific Coast Highway. It was a diner with a big menu, and the friend of mine owned the diner, and he said, "Would you name the food on the menu?" And I had 2 mounds of cottage cheese with a what did I do with that? Yeah, I had 2 mounds of cottage cheese and an olive on each top, so it looked like what it looked like. I said it was a pair of Dyan Cannon's cannons. But I did that with the whole menu, with everything. I mean, I put everything together like that. Even Mel Brooks thought it was funny. But it's unbelievable how now everybody's doing the one-liners. Everybody's on the joke. They all want to stretch the little word game, and it's good. I guess partially responsible for it would be Jeopardy on television all these years, and Wheel of Fortune, and playing with these word games that, incidentally, Merv Griffin invented that. It was called Hangman's Game. I think he took it off of England. It was a version of the Hangman's Game, that Wheel of Fortune. And Jeopardy is a pseudo-intellectual game. You feel smart. I always said that Alex Trebek was the smartest guy on the show because he knew all the answers because he had them written on a card, and he got $15,000 a show. So there's the smart guy. That's the one who was smartest. God rest his soul. But we have a different kind of world now where everything is up for grabs. Everybody can do whatever they want to do right now and get away with it until Morgan and Morgan moves in. They actually, I mentioned this yesterday, they wheeled in a cripple so that you would get that sympathy vote. A guy who was crippled saying, "Oh, I got my money from Morgan and Morgan." What are you doing? Come on. I'm mentioning it again because I think it's such a violation of anybody's sensibility. And then too, all of those very much overdone screaming car commercials, and that's television. But that's why we're watching this, because you want to get away from that. Many people haven't seen TV in years. They get their news from this thing, and they watch it on the internet, or they hear it from somebody who refers something. I like watching the independent channels, not the ones that are called Hulu and the subscription ones. That's another game. They make money by charging you to watch channels that they own that have commercials on it, and they take a movie which used to be free on over-the-air television with commercials, and they put it on their sub-channels, like what's the one that I like? Tubi, or not Tubi. And you watch the movie there, and they got commercials. The same thing. What have they done? All they've done is shift my viewing. I went over to another place. I pay for Tubi, and I have to watch their commercials. But I have a wide choice of movies. I can pick any movie I want that I never want to see again. All right, so that's it. We're having a new year, and I guess my best wishes are to forget this year. Forget about it. This is the Italian way of saying 2021. Forget about it. 2022. This is the good fortune year. I think we're going to all have great success. Wear your masks. The only time to take your mask off is when the sheriff is not chasing you. That's when you take your mask off. Otherwise, you better leave it on. So it's a Reynolds Wrap. How about that? Happy New Year! And let's just all. I wish I had 300 people to put this show on. It would be so much better. let a smile be your umbrella, but don't get a mouthful of rain.